So here we are. So I'm just going to ask. We call we call Dreamer Mr. Skeptic as a little nickname, and even going, although he's done this so many times, going into a very shady spot from sunny spot is always difficult. So already he's noticed the vacuum. So if he wants to go down and touch that, that's fine. Hey, bud, I might just ask him. Hey, you interested? And the thing about Dreamer in this spot, and this is our little stable spot that we do grooming and saddling in, is we're facing the forest. It's more difficult for him to face into the stalls. It's not that he can't, but in a situation like this, when we're really learning to be confident with something new and everything matters, I'm going to set this up for as much success as I can. So I'm not going to do it facing the stalls. I'll do it facing the forest, the scary forest sometimes. Anyway, whoops. So even slight things, it's just amazing to me, as long as I've had this horse, how he perceives his environment and how difficult it is for him sometimes to be able to relax. Um, I can't imagine this horse in somebody in different hands that isn't aware of that. It would just be, it would not be good for either one, that's for sure. So here we are, and I'm just going to pick up this arm here and see how he thinks about this. And again, as you can hear, the engine is on, looking for licks and chews. So I'm looking for all of the the classic signs of relaxation as much as Dreamer can at this point. Um, he's looking into the forest. He still has tension. There, his head is down. He knows, though, because we've worked on this a lot. Come on, buddy. Come on over here. Come on. You're all right. Not forward. Come on. Step over. Good boy. Um, we've worked a lot on lowering his head. You might have seen me do that in the other videos. And as long as a horse has his head down, his body's not producing adrenaline or as much adrenaline. As soon as that head goes up, there's an automatic response for him to start to produce adrenaline to a certain, on a scale for sure. So again, all of these things matter if the foundation is there, if the steps are taken, and if you think you've broken it down, break it down some more, particularly for a horse like this. Our other horses, Journey, our old guy, he's quite equipped to, where are you going? To handle things with a little bit more confidence, a little quicker. So you can see that response. I want to go forward. I'm not too sure about what's going on here. Again, he's paying more attention to the forest and what's going on around him than here. And he might just walk off, in which case that's fine. I'll allow him to do that, of course. I'm not going to hold him back into a spot that stands for claustrophobia for him. And we'll just bring him back and see how he is and start again. So just little things like that, and I'm really being aware of his energy. If he's not wanting me to touch him with that, I'm going to stop until he can give me a green light that says, you know what, I'm okay with that. So I'm looking for if he's going to turn around and look at this. He might be curious, yes. He also might be saying, no, not here, not now. So I'm aware of those differences, the subtleties in listening to your horse and watching his eye and the muscle tension in his body. So this brush, this attachment, is for horses, and it does make a little bit more of a hollow sound than most brushes. But again, he enjoys being groomed. So once he can kind of connect the fact that even though this is a funny looking brush, it's kind of long and wiggly and has a big canister here, it also makes me feel good. So we'll just go with that. And again, most horses have not a problem up here on their withers. with being touched, but other horses don't like to be touched at all. So you have to know your horse and know how far back or how far forward or the spots where you have a green light and then the other ones that say, yeah, but. So in some of my other videos, in terms of grooming, I call grooming with feel, actually. And if you have seen those videos, you'll know that I always keep my opposite hand somewhere on my horse, somewhere that says, I'm here for you. It also gives me a chance to feel tension that I may not be feeling through this brush, or I may not have recognized, especially when I'm down around his legs and I feel, or he feels, that maybe there's something out there that he wants to move away from. So I'm just going to kind of continue on here. I'm giving him a nice little massage and groom. I hope you can see this on this video. Um, I've got my Pivo set up for the first time, and I'm actually using my own audio, so it'll be interesting to see. So what happens? So here's an opportunity. I'm going to the other side. I also have this wiggly thing in front of him, and I'm just going to ask him to step back a little bit so that I don't come too close with this, but at the same time, it is going to move. And we did a lot of work with moving this back and forth around from shoulder to shoulder, got him used to, that this not only moves, but that whole canister moves. So let's see what we have today with this. And you can see that there's an immediate response to the noise and the movement. So again, I'm keeping track of all these things. He's telling me I'm okay as long as that machine doesn't move down there. And of course, it's not been on yet, so I'm not even there in my thinking yet, because he's still not sure what it is. So now there's nothing between the machine and I'm not between the machine and him. He's got that machine right beside him. So again, I'm not holding him back. I have my hand open on this line. I'm just asking him a little bit to be to handle his own emotions. So at the same time, I don't want to micromanage those emotions, but on the other extent, there's that little gray area where it says, you know what? See if you can hang on for a little bit and work that adrenaline. And you can see that head is down. Yes, he's looking at the machine a little bit, but again, as long as his head's down, he's off adrenaline, and that the wiggly coil here is actually touching his feet. So I'm not even thinking about going back farther than the ribs right now. In fact, I'm very pleased at the fact that I've been able to get up this far with him. Anybody? Yeah, it's pretty darn good. So I'm just going to continue mixing the pleasure of being groomed with the slight unconfidence, or maybe when you're watching this, you think this is a big unconfidence. For Dreamer, it's kind of right in the middle. There's a lick and chew. So you see, there's where he handled the situation. I asked him to stay for a little bit longer. I've got your back. I promise you I'm not going to turn this on, or nothing's going to jump out at you. I make sure that's set up for success. And then at the same time, I want him to trust me. Trust me. Stay here. Stay calm. I've got your back. Nothing bad's going to happen. Because, of course, everybody knows that trust is really hard to get with horses, and it's very easy to lose. So that's pretty good. And that's maybe all I'll do for today. I'm going to try, maybe, I've been wiggling this. I know you probably can't see this, but I've been wiggling this hose down by his feet. So he is seeing movement of the hose, which again is a piece of this puzzle. But I'm just going to try to move the canister a little bit, and you'll probably be able to hear it. Let's just see his response. Hey, bud. There. Oh, that's scary, eh? All right, well, we're going to move it right back to where it was. And you can move away as well. So again, I've got some work cut out in me, with him, and we'll explore that and get it so that he understands that that thing's going to move, but it's not going to hurt him. Will it take a day? Probably not. Not with Dreamer. With other horses, it might. Will it take a week, 2 weeks? It doesn't matter. I make sure that he's in charge of the time. I just need to be in charge of the knowledge. Anyway, stage 3. Let's see what happens with stage 4.